Hey people, welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing, what can we learn from Lazarus, whom Jesus resurrected? The first thing the story of Lazarus teaches us is that resurrection is possible. The Sadducees didn't believe it, according to Matthew chapter 22 verse 23, and many religious traditions today don't include it, but resurrection is indeed possible. Why? Because God is the owner of life, just as we are the owners of whatever we create on earth. As Paul said in Acts, God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. For in him we live, and move, and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring. Acts chapter 17 verses 24 and 28. If God can create and destroy life, it is evident that he can bring it back, according to Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39. This means that God, and by extension Jesus, see death merely as sleep. Jesus said in John, "These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go, that I may awake him out of sleep." John chapter 11 verse 11. There was clearly a difference to his disciples, so he had to explain himself in verse 14, but there wasn't really a difference to him. He could resurrect someone as easily as he could wake his disciples up in Matthew chapter 26 verse 40. This also means that everyone is alive to Jehovah, regardless of whether they are physically dead or not. Jesus said in Luke, "But in the account of the burning bush, even Moses showed that the dead rise. For he calls the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive." Luke chapter 20 verses 37 to 38, according to the New International Version. That's why Jesus could say that no one died if they believed in him, according to John chapter 11 verse 26. They'd only die if Jehovah ensured that they'd die, according to Matthew chapter 10 verse 28. It doesn't even matter what happened to their body. It could have rotted for 4 days, like that of Lazarus in John chapter 11 verse 39. It could have turned into a skeleton, like the bones in Ezekiel chapter 37. People will receive new bodies after resurrection, because God can create new bodies, just like he did for Adam and Eve. As Paul said in 1 Corinthians, "But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body." 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 38. Now, the reason why resurrection is so important is that Christians can't really believe in Jesus without it. Despite all the miracles he'd done beforehand, Jesus told Jehovah that he was resurrecting Lazarus so people would believe in him. He said in John, "And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me." John chapter 11 verse 42. There just wouldn't be a point in his message if people would end up dying after hearing it. This was an especially important message for the apostles, some of whom suffered and died for the work. What would be the point of all their suffering if there was no resurrection? One of these apostles, St. Paul, said, "And if Christ be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain. If in this life only we have hope in Christ, we are of all men most miserable." 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 14 and 19. St. Paul went through too many trials in 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verses 23 to 27 to face the same fate as his tormentors. Thus, as Christians, it's important to not mourn too much when a family member passes. If Lazarus could be resurrected, then so can we. Why would Jesus be the only one to rise again? As it was said in 1 Thessalonians, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 13, 14, and 18. Soon those family members will be comforted just like Martha and Mary. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. What can we learn from Lazarus, whom Jesus resurrected? We learn that resurrection is possible, regardless of potential obstacles, and that it is an essential part of the Christian faith. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.